Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Samurai Goddess. The goddess next door takes on kung fu killers in this action-packed martial arts Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Samurai Goddess in paperback and e-readers today. Yesterday I went to the library to check my Facebook statuses, and I looked at one of the links I had posted for a promotion for Samurai Goddess. And as I was looking at this promotion for Samurai Goddess, I found not a review of the book or a response telling me how the person felt about the book, but I found a response from one of these single mothers who was upset over something I said in one of my YouTube videos. And she decided, since I had probably blocked her off of YouTube, that she was going to come to Facebook to try to get a response out of me over something I said in one of my videos. Now, I look at that behavior and it's par for the course when it comes down to many of these single mothers, because in the past, whenever I wrote blogs like Ways Single Mothers Destroy Their Sons, what would happen is I would pretty much not respond to them in the comment section of that blog, and what these females would do is run to the most recent post that I had published talking about comic books or science fiction and fantasy, looking to bicker and argue over an old blog that had been 3 or 4 years old. And I look at this female's behavior, and it's pretty much the same type of behavior. And when I look at that behavior more closely and more critically, I start to see where many of these Negro males get the ideas they have about stalking people online. And the reason why they stalk people online, because this is the same behavior that many of these single mothers have when they deal with men and interact with men. Whenever a man presents them with a point that they disagree with, what they're going to do is try to follow that man around social media, looking to say what they're going to say and make that person listen to them. Now, this female decides she's going to hijack the Samurai Goddess promotion post, and she's going to use it to launch a tirade of verbal diarrhea. She literally wrote almost 2 or 3 pages of information trying to convince me to listen to her argument. I deleted the post. I don't have time to listen or read verbal diarrhea over an opinion I present on YouTube or Facebook or Blogger. If I present a post in a blog, I have presented my opinion, I have presented my viewpoints, and you are not going to convince me or sway me to see your point. And again, you would think, if you have watched numerous videos where I have pretty much presented my points on single mothers, if you have read numerous blogs I've presented where I've presented my opinions of single mothers, what would make you think I am going to change my viewpoint of single mothers 4 or 5 years later? And moreover, what is going to make me change my opinion of single mothers when I have lived in a single mother household, when I have lived around single mothers, and I understand the dysfunction that goes around them? I have had these opinions about single mothers since I was 12 years old, and I have seen her progeny in places like IS 148 and Park West wreaking havoc in those public schools. When I look at her progeny and I look at the behaviors that these progeny of single mothers participate in, I can clearly see their dysfunction. And this is why I have such disdain for single mothers, because they do such a poor job of raising the males around me. And it's the reason why many of those males are completely screwed up. Now, this female decides in her verbal diarrhea she's going to pretty much try to convince me why my arguments are wrong. She's sitting there talking about her college degrees in psychology. She's talking about her college degree, about her training in psychotherapy, and clearly showing me how dysfunctional she truly is, because as a guy who has actually lived in the single mother households and has studied them, I can tell you for a fact that most of the progeny of single mothers pretty much are the reason why 85% of them go to prison or are arrested for crimes. A large percentage of them are pretty much having children out of wedlock, and why they continue to perpetuate a cycle of poverty. Whenever you have a child from a single mother, you either have 2 outcomes coming for that child, actually 3. One is death, 2 is prison, and the third one is pretty much the daughters turning into single mothers themselves, because this is the behavior that they're seeing being modeled for them. And when they look at this behavior that's being modeled for them, they pretty much act in the same way. And now when I look at the behavior of this female, I clearly see how many of these guys come out here with this online stalking, because this female's behavior is par for the course with many other females, many of these males' behavior out here whenever they're presented with an opinion that they disagree with. Whenever these people are presented with an opinion that they disagree with, instead of just hitting the red X and keeping it moving, they decide they're going to try to force you to hear their opinion, and they are going to try to force you to agree with them. And what they will do is try to attack you on a place like YouTube, and if they can't attack you there and they get blocked, they're going to go and follow you to Facebook. They're going to follow you to Twitter. They're going to follow you to Instagram. They're going to follow you in the hopes, just like that single mother does with that boyfriend, trying to force you to listen to them. Well, I'm sorry, this is social media, and if a person does not want to listen to your opinions, they're not going to listen to your opinions. The World Wide Web is an open platform, and people have a right to freedom of speech. And if you do not like the speech presented to someone on their platform, you can just click out of it. And this is something that I have to say to many of these single mothers regarding any of the opinions I present. You are not going to change my opinions. You are not going to change my view on single mothers. And I can look at your behavior, and it pretty much proves all the points I have about the dysfunctional behavior that many of these Afro-American Negro males participate in, because I saw you participating in the exact same behavior they participate in. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.